Monty and the Curator, and today we're going to be doing a let's play of me versus Monty. Now, as you might have known if you watched the videos in the correct order, I should be playing, that's just my cat Florence. She's in a very bad temper, so just don't mind her. I should be playing Scrabble versus Monty, the gaming Scrabble game computer Amatic Mini. There are a couple of rules. Firstly, I'm going to let Monty choose the letters for me. I feel better about it because then, you know, it just feels fairer, to be honest. I don't know, because I could be like saying that I've got any types of letters to Monty. I've grown an attachment to a bally Scrabble computer. And another thing is I'm going to, as well as Monty's electronic score, I'm going to keep a score of my own. I'll try and put call-outs on the screen saying, you know, who's putting which letters where. I shall try and make it as sort of smooth and quick as possible because Scrabble games do tend to be quite lengthy, and seeing as it's only me, there's not going to be any interesting chit-chat. That tends to happen during board games. So M and C, Monty and Curator. Right, got my paper, I've got the camera. By the way, the letters might be a bit blurry, but that's sort of, I had to get the full board in screen, and doing so means I will have to sacrifice you actually seeing the letters. I think you should be, let me just test. I think you should be able to see that, alright, that's not terrible. Anyway, let's begin. Now, because I'm terrible, I shall be playing, that's Monty, I shall be playing at the lowest level. Who sits left of Monty? Hope you'll see that there. Yeah. Who sits left of Monty? Curator. Rather nicely, my name actually fits in the thing. Who sits left of Monty? Press enter, and that means that's me and him. So who goes first? Me, Curator. Enter. Draw your own tiles. No thank you. Enter for tiles for Curator. So I have Z, L, A, F, S, P, A. And that should be on the screen now. Now, I know that if you're watching this, you might be sort of basically screaming at the screen, telling me all these different words that I can use, but I'm not very good, so even if, you know, the entire game's probably going to be like 2 to 4 letters, I apologise in advance. If you don't want to watch, you're free to, you know, look away. Right, so I think we shall start. And I have already my first letter, flaps. So I shall put in flaps into the, oops, skill level A. Right, flaps, F, L, A, P, S. Enter. I'm going to put it across, and it's going to be with A in the middle, and that's 20 to me. That's not bad. That's not a bad start as starts go. Right. Note, I am going to streamline this. You shan't have to watch me place everything down. I'm probably going to edit it all fancy, so to you it seems like, you know, no time is passing at all. Whereas to me, I have to fiddle through because I'm using the letters that Monty gives me. I have to sort of rummage through the actual letters and find the letters that I have to use. To be honest, it would have been clever of me to sort of lay out all the letters in a fashion, but I'm not very clever, so I didn't think of that. So, I shall get the letters. I'm going to probably fade it out now. I will get on with the game proper. Right, so I've put my letters down. According to Monty, I got a score of 20 there. Now, I don't know if it might be just that I don't know the rules properly, but to me it only looks like I've got 10. So I assume, you know, that's a double letter score in the middle there, I'm guessing. So I'm just going to go with what Monty says on this one because I've never really known the rules for the middle squares there. Right, so it is now Monty's turn. My new tiles are E, B, R, D and G. I shall check what all of the tiles I have are in a minute, because I've forgotten, and I forgot to write them down, and I don't have the space to write them down, so it's just as well, really. Right, it is Monty's turn. Monty is using A and E next to my L to make the word ale. Gets 5. Let me just check. A and E. Got double letter score. Yes, 5 is correct. So, the end of this round, I have 20 and Monty has 5. That's a good start. I shall put the letters down. Right, it is now my turn. The letters I have are Z, A, E, B, R, D and G. So I shall have a moment to think. Now, I've been playing Scrabble for quite some time. I was taught how to play it when I was fairly young. I like to think I am decently eloquent, at least more eloquent than the chaps near where I live, to be honest. Part of where I live, a lot of the people around aren't that smart, but that's not really fair of me to say. I think I might. I think I have a word. Pager, as in one of those old like message taking things. So I'm going to see if that counts as a word, and it does. It counts as a 9. So I'm quite pleased with that. So that brings me up to 29. I shall put down the letters. Right, I've put down the letters. Also, I should instigate now another rule. I don't know if Monty knows. I'm fairly sure he's been programmed with it, but he might not know the amount of letters there actually are, because he's electronic, and you know, it might be the case. There's Florence again. It might be the case that you know, it was designed for infinite letters. So if it comes to a point when I have ran out of that particular letter, I shall end the game there, which I think is a fair rule. Now, it is Monty's turn. My new letters are Q, A, I and H. So I've got a Z and a Q. That leaves me in an interesting position, it's fair to say. It is Monty's turn. Monty is using fans. Now, in using fans, he's going to put the S, he's going to put on top of the ale. So he's going to make that word sail, which is quite intelligent of Monty. And that gives him a score of 13. Yes, I see, that's fine. So that brings Monty's score to 18. So at the end of this round, Monty's score is 18 and my score is 29. I shall put down the letters. It is now my turn. Now, because I've got a Q and a Z and I don't have a U yet, well, I don't think I need to continue with that. I'm in a bit of an odd situation, but I think I do have a word. I am going to play the word braid. Now, I have, my letters are Z, B, D, Q, A, I, H, so I shall be able to play braid at the end of pager. That gave me a score of 22, which I'm quite pleased with. I am slightly cheating there, because Braid, the game made by Jonathan Blow, which involves time manipulation mechanics, is one of my favourite games. So I was ever so slightly cheating there. Right, I shall put down the letters. Right, I've put down the letters, and my new letters are V, N, S and I. So I have a V, a Q and a Z. Now, I know I have an I, and if I could fit, if a word comes in later with a U, or if I get a U, I'll be able to play the word quiz, which, if I manage to use the I in braid there, will leave me with quite a nice word and quite a high score, seeing there's a double word score. But I doubt if that will stay open for long, especially as it's sort of the most open point of there. And Monty is a good player, being a computer, which is unsurprising. It is now Monty's turn. Monty is using the word acre. he's using the word acre under the B of braid, so he's also got the word be, B-E, as in to be, a state of existence. I couldn't think of a better way to phrase that then. This gives Monty a score of 11. Now I'm just going to check that. I checked and I believe it's correct, but I also noticed that he didn't count. No, he did count, right, that was just my maths, that was incorrect. Right, it is correct, and that leaves, it gives Monty a score of 11, and that means at the end of the turn I have a score of 51, and Monty has a score of 29. On to the next turn. Now my letters, which I should actually be giving myself out of the pile I have here, are Z, Q, H, V, N, S and I. Now, there is a slight problem in that I know a lot of words regarding stuff like computing and electronic music and stuff like that, as indeed I should. But since this was from 1983, I can't imagine that he would know many of them. I mean, it's possible that he would let me use them simply by the virtue that I am the sort of person controlling him, inverted commas, but I think it's best if I play it fair, even if it means that I have a slight disadvantage, because my vocabulary is slightly different to his. Now, people are going to think me a fool for this, but the only word I can think of at the moment is ash, the A being at the beginning of Monty's acre, so I shall play that now. That gives me a score of 6, which it ups my score to 57. I'm going to have to think of much better words than that if I'm to win this game. My new letters are A and T, and seeing as I've set out my letters here in front of me using the tiles, my letters in total are Z, Q, N, A, I, T and V. It is now Monty's turn to play. As expected, Monty is using the I in braid with the letters A, R and S to make the word heirs. Heirs. This gives Monty 8 points. I shall now place the tiles. At the end of that turn, Monty has a score of 37, sorry, and I have a score of 57, so I do still have a 20-point lead, but I do need to think of better words, and I think I might have one now. It's not a fantastic word, but it's better than nothing. It's faint. Faint, F-A-I-N-T. I shall now place the letters. So that gives me a score, I believe, of 10, I think it is, which is better than nothing. I've got to play in Monty himself, so I shall do so now. Okay, apparently I have a score of 9, which is, better than nothing. Yes, because I didn't maths properly. I'm terrible at maths. Right. Enter for tiles. My new tiles are U, I, L and U. And my new score is 66. Now the problem is here that I now have the letters for quiz, but I have nowhere to put them at the moment, so I'm going to have to see if I can force, as it were, an I somewhere where it will do me some good. Monty is using the letters M and N in the A of faint to make man and Anne. Man giving him a score of 8. I can actually find the letters for it. I'll be a bit more organised next time, I think. And Anne giving him a score of 2 to give him a complete score of 10, making his new score 47. I shall now place the letters. At the end of that turn, I have 66 and Monty has 47. It is now my turn. I must admit I haven't played Scrabble with someone else in quite a while. Now if I get other people to join me in my Let's Play gaming sessions on other board games, I might as well get them to join in with Scrabble as well. But at the moment, Monty is a good rival, a sufficient enough rival. Also, I realised in that last turn I could have used the A, I, N and T to give me Saint, which not only would have given me Saint being at the end of Airs there, which would have given me not only a score of 10, but also the possibility to use Quiz, but that's my own fault. I may be able to use the Q to make Quit, and try and construct myself, hopefully getting an I, to get Quiz as well, so I shall play that now. The T at the end of Quit, by the way, being the T at the end of Faint. Now that gave me a score of 15 according to Monty, which now puts me at 81, and I shall place the tiles. Also, do ignore any beeping you hear, that's just Monty and his console. I could have made him quiet, but that's just the way it is. I shall place the tiles now. So I've set myself up there with something which could be quite nice later. My new tiles are W, N and G. No I there, but that's not a huge problem, seeing as I still have plenty of time. And seeing as I believe I have the only Z, Monty can't play Z instead. Ignore the rhyming there, it was unintentional. My new letters are U, Z, W, N, G, L and V. It's Monty's turn. Monty has decided to use the letter Y in the middle of the F and the E there to make the words Phi and Yi, which are fairly old style words, but I don't mind him using them. That gives him a score of 13, which ups his score to 60. At the end of that turn, I have 81 and Monty has 60. So I have a 21 point lead, which is quite advantageous. On to the next turn. So it is my turn to put the letters down now. As you might have guessed, when I'm trying to think of words, I'm not very good at speaking at the same time. Especially as I have no vowels in my letter collection. If it all goes wrong, I do believe I have a slight cop-out there. Also, I do have a vowel. I have the vowel U, but that is... I don't think that's going to help me. I do have a slight cop-out in that I could put the N under the I of Quit, and if I do manage to do Quiz somehow, it won't be interjected by that, which is handy. If I had an E, I'd be able to do Quite, but I don't have an E. If I had an S, I'd be able to do Pages and Acres as well, but again, I don't have an S. Right, I'm going to have to use my U to make Sung, which should net me 10 points. Sung, the S being the one in Airs there. So I'm not happy about it, but I don't want to, waste the lead I have just to make a word later. I want to, keep it up. So I shall make the word sung, which, unless I'm wrong, should give me 10 points. And indeed it did. And it just so happens that I've got an I now, which, So I've got a score of 91 now, which isn't half bad. At least I have a couple more vowels. I have an E as well. So an E, an I and an R. My new letters are Z, W, E, I, R, L, V. We shall have to see what happens with those. Yeah, in any case, it is now Monty's turn. Monty is using the letters R, O, O and T to make the word roots out of the S of ash, which isn't a bad word as it goes. That gives him the score of 10, which I believe is correct. Let me me just check. Yes, it does. And that gives him the score of 70. So at the end of that round, I have a score of 91, Monty has a score of 70. Now, I might have another word which would again set me back on the quiz front, but it might be something good. I just need to check the dictionary to make sure a second possible word is plausible. I shall place down the tiles now. Right, I've checked the possible second letter which could be made, and apparently it is the second word that I could make, and apparently it is a word in so much that it's a letter. I want to make the word weird using the D at the end of braid, and doing so would also make the word R, A-R. Now I looked it up and apparently it does count as a word, R as in the letter R, as it says, the name of the Latin script letter R, A-R. So I shall place the letters. Doing so has given me a score of 15, which I'm quite pleased with. That has left my score at 106. It's not a bad score to have. My new tiles are a blank one, an I, and two E's. So my new tiles are Z blank E E I L V, and that means that I shall not be able to play quiz because I've just noticed, well, roots is there, but I might be able to play the word queer, not in the rude sense, just in the sense of, apologies if you don't like the word queer, if you are of a homosexual nature. I'm not intending it to be derogatory, it's just a word meaning peculiar, so I might be able to play that next turn. Monty has decided to use the letters EH on the top of roots to make the word and ho, which I think are odd words, but again I'm not going to contest them because he is a computer and he was programmed with these words. Gives him 5, gives him 2, and ho gives him 5. So that means the total score is 12. So at the end of that turn, Monty has a score of 82 and I have a score of 106. Now, let me just place those letters. Right, I shall now play the word queer. So any of my quiz dreams are now gone forever, which is not a huge problem as things go. I don't imagine many people have quiz dreams. And that gives me a score of 14. You might have heard a couple of times Monty does a sort of little fanfare thing if you do a good letter, which is nice because it gives you hope for the game ahead. Now that gave me a score of, I believe I said 14, or was it 13? Was it 12? I don't even know. 14. Yes, 14. Right, so that puts my score up to, I have no short-term memory at all, by the way. That puts my score up to 120. I shall now place down my 2 letters, one of which isn't even a letter. Right, it is now Monty's turn. However, I have the letters Y and I. Let me just get these. Right, now it seems that I can't get these letters. There isn't another Y present, so I don't know if that means that I've lost a Y. I shall just have a second look to make sure I haven't missed it. If I haven't missed it and it is actually there, then this might be the end of the game. So let me just have a double check. Thankfully I managed to find a Y. That means the game doesn't have to end now. I mean, I don't know if you're interested in watching this at the moment, a sort of monotonous voiced British person playing against a Scrabble computer, but, you know, each to their own. If you are enjoying it, thank you very much for watching. The game doesn't need to end yet. My new letters are Z, I, Y, E, I, L, V, which again is an odd assortment of letters, and I've had that V since the beginning of the game, so there we go. It is now Monty's turn, and Monty is using the letters V and E to make Eve. Eve coming out of my weird, so that was nonsense. Eve coming out of my weird. Madam Eve is coming out of my weird today. I don't know why she was in there. She must have very odd pastimes to be going into my weird in the first place. She didn't even ask permission. That was very off of her. But in any case, that means Monty now has a score of 10. I shall now place these letters. So at the end of that turn, Monty has a score of 92. I have a score of 120. Now it is my turn. I think I might be able to use my V. Veil. Coming out of Monty's Eve. Monty's Eve is producing a veil out of her. Let's stop saying that now. So that, I believe, gives me a score of 12, 5. Yes, I need to count out loud because I'm terrible at maths. I don't even know why I'm doing a check myself. Probably Monty's doing a lot better maths than me. So that should give me a score of 9. Again, I forgot to actually put it in Monty, so that's off of me. Let's put that in Monty now, and I shall place the letters. My new tiles are D, G and J. It seems that Monty would very much like for me to have the rarer tiles in this play session. This means that my new letters are D, J, Z, I, Y, E and G. I do hope I've said that every time, or I'll making call-outs for these very difficult. It is now Monty's turn. Monty is using the letters B, E and T on top of, where is that? On top of the S of flaps to make bets, which gives him 8-point score, meaning he is now at 100. So I shall place the letters. At the end of that turn, Monty has a score of 100 and I have a score of 129. You may have noticed that the B of bets is a blank. Now, I seem to have ran out of Bs and ran out of Bs. All of my Bs have flown away after stinging me in the face. I now have a large face, but that isn't different. That isn't the story, though. The story is, I seem to have ran out of the letter B, and I really would not like this game to end. Well, it's not exactly prematurely, because I can see how long this video has been recording for, but I wouldn't like it to end just because there's a letter missing, so I'll continue it as long as I can. I may have to have a short break in the middle due to the virtue that my memory card can only record 55 minutes of footage, and I'm currently at 47 minutes of footage, though that will be much shorter for you because I've edited it down. So I shall continue as best I can. When it gets around the 50, or I say 52 minute mark for me, I shall stop for a moment, put in a different memory card and continue. So yeah, that's that. Anyway, it's my turn. I should be able to make the word bide from the B that I placed down. That should give me a score of, don't know how much B is, and that counts as an actual B. I'll just let Monty work it out for me. That gives me a score of 14, which is something that is rather pleasing. My score is now 143. I shall put down the letters. My new letters are P, O and blank. Right, that's a problem, seeing as there isn't a blank. Right, I'm calling it now. I think this might have to be the end of the game. I shall let Monty have his last go, and then the game shall end because I've ran out of letters, and as I said at the beginning, if I ran out of letters I would end the game. So let's let Monty have his turn to see what his final score is. Monty is using the letters T and I at the bottom of the B there, coming from acre and braid, to make the word bet and tie. Again, he was programmed with these words, so I assume they are correct. And that gives him a score of 2, 5, which means 7, leaving his final score as 107. I shall now place the tiles. So I shall wrap it up. All in all, I was very pleased with that game. Might not have been as exciting as some might have hoped, but it's just a format test, as it were, of Let's Plays. I shall do more in the future with friends, and hopefully the conversation shall be more engaging. If you watched to the end of this, thank you so much. It really means a great deal to me for giving me your time. And this isn't the last you shall see of Monty. I might play against him using only, the stuff he has, so there is no silly ran out of tiles time break. I don't know what I'm saying now. I shall edit this into 2 parts, about 20 minutes each, I think, roughly 20 minutes. And yes, so I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I do like playing Scrabble, even when it's against a computer. I shall see if I can find more computer opponents to play games against in the future. And when I get a decent setup, I shall play a gameplay thing on there because I want to, not because I'm jumping on the bandwagon of everyone on the planet doing it, but it's something that interests me, and that's something that I really want to do. So thank you so much for watching, and good day to you all. Thank you, Florence. As a final note to this video, I checked Monty's score at the end, and he said that I had 117 and he had 97, so maybe my maths went wrong, maybe his did. I'm betting it's mine because I'm terrible at maths, but either way, I won, and I'm pleased with that. So, bye.